Before we can get started on the living room lights this week, we have to do some quick repairs to our existing lights. You want to explain? What are you about to do right now?
Put this box on this window and seal it for the
furnace. I was talking about these.
I could do the breaker if you want me to, but that's...
Well, now this video is all shot to This week on Armstrong Acres.
All my great people here. Love you.
Just the three of us.
This one loves having this little butt rubbed. Oh, that feels so good, doesn't it? My little chicken boo. My little chicken boo. Oh, fluff it out.
Look at that. These winter sunrises.
Hey, look. We have grass. Who knew? Yeah.
Glad we have all those insulating pads from our meat deliveries. Being a meat snob comes in handy.
I like that nickname for you. Meat snob.
It's Mrs. Meat Snob to you. That looks good.
It's spray foamed around this door.
Right now we're putting, he's putting cardboard in these windows because our brand new furnace is not keeping up very well.
The problem is that our house only has one return for the heat. It's supposed to heat the upstairs, return the air from the upstairs into the furnace, and reheat it constantly.
Right.
Ours only had one, that furnace needs three, so it's returning the air to the basement.
Right.
Which means it's pulling this cold air back up, which should just warm the basement and warm the whole house, but we have so much cold air coming in that if we can prevent as much of that as possible, it'll help the furnace keep up better.
Now, those of you who have been viewers for a minute will remember that when we moved in here, Pap had styrofoam in these windows that had come out of something, but it was the exact size of the window. Might put that in first and then the boxes. Just a suggestion. Yeah, looks good. Well, I'm going to try and explain it.
What?
Shush. So before we start on the living room lights this week, Before we get started on the living room lights this week, Brian has to replace a breaker in the fuse panel. The one he installed for the far corner of the kitchen is not a big enough, let me know if I'm not explaining this right. It's not a big enough amperage to support everything that we have plugged in over there. And it trips all the time if we have too many things running at one time. It's too small.
Is that what she said?
I wouldn't know. I've never heard it. So a few listeners mentioned it. They commented, and you're right. And I knew it, but this whole thing has just been frustrating. You can run power to the switch. I've always run it to the light because I've always had access to the light, and it keeps most of that stuff tucked up in and out of the way. But because of the way we're going to do the living room, I actually think running to the switch will be easier this time. The problem is that I had this wire run from when Jason was here, but when we did the furnace, we needed about a 10-foot section, so I just cut it off of this because it was handy. So now I have to feed a new wire. Thankfully, I have a new spool, and my hope is that if I just tape the existing wire to the new spool, I can just pull it through and not have to climb through mouse crap again.
Just climb that up into the wretch.
What are you doing?
Tracing the wiring to figure out which one of those breakers that is.
Oh. We should label them at some point.
Did you label the breaker yet?
No. I should have done it as I was going, and I did not. I think it's this corner of kitchen.
Oh, there you go. You did label it. See?
Which is this wire, which runs to this 15 amp.
You can't find a flathead screwdriver.
Okay. Well, I found one, but I suspect it's going to be too big.
Too damn big.
I missed the sparks.
20 amp.
This is a 15 you pulled out?
Yeah. So we'll do that. Oh, I tripped something else.
I was really hoping for some sparks.
I'll give it a second. I'm about to push this wire in, so while you're hoping I'll hurt myself, this would be a pretty good time.
I'm not hoping you hurt yourself, but I mean, it would be exciting.
It'd be a lot more than exciting. This would probably kill me.
Oh, well then no sparks.
Oh, come on. Get in your hole. There.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh.
We're going to try to pull our wire and hope that my tape job holds up. Because I really don't want to crawl in the mouse crap again. Now, oh, turns out that we're past the age of that whole, I could just jump in here and do whatever I want. Come on, please. Fail. I'm gonna have to see if I can reach up in there. Hold on, I'm getting a call from Gammy. You're doing good. Ha ha. Okay. There's my new wire. There's my old wire. We're making progress. I made my little boxy box. There it is. Oh. When I find the metal boxes on the wall, I almost always replace them with plastic ones. When I was doing the kitchen light, it's the only time in all the wiring in this house that I blew sparks, and it's because the metal box had worn through the side of one of the wires, and when it touched, it blew sparks, kicked the breaker. So I got to get this box into the wall, get the wires, these wires that run to the light in, wires that will run to the breaker in. Get out of my way. If I grab my oscillator and just notch a bit out, top and bottom, you know, ideally in most walls you'll kind of tack them into the studs, but they just have tabs that flip up. And then you run these screws in and it pulls these tabs against the wall. Well, crap. I'm gonna have to put this board back up. This is gonna be fun with the 700 nails up and down that stud. Oh! I know it's a longer video. Okay, hair off of that. Hair off of that. 5th time's a charm. How much do I have from the top? Yeah, I should be able to wire the box like out here. So, time to start wiring. Yay. What I don't know if I think I'm going to run the power to the switch and from the switch to the light. So the only thing I'll have to do in there, in theory, no counter this time, is just disconnect the old knob and tube from this light switch and kind of stuff it up in there. So then it's just hanging the fan and the light. Should be plenty sturdy to hold the fan, in theory. And if not, it'll fall and break and I'll buy a new fan. My motivation for the channel has become reinvigorated, which is awesome. My motivation for not starting to drink right now and instead doing wiring, different story. I've got my switch, I got a screwdriver, and I have a beer. And I've got my Frank down here. Whoever wired in this box last time cut the switch wire to the light, so the ground on it, they cut it really short. I would like to do a wire nut with the ground from the yellow to the light, and then ground both of those to the actual switch. But because they cut it off so short, I'm not sure if I'll be able to get this switch back in the same spot. It's gonna be tight. Like a Chinese finger trap. I should have done a better job stripping the insulation. There's no way I can pull it all. That'll do. It's Friday. lived in Texas, I was sort of a Renaissance man because I know how to do a lot of different things. It sounds very douchey to say that. I know a little bit about a lot of stuff, and that's kind of exceedingly rare. Here, where I come from, it's very normal. After you guys got the opportunity to meet Spencer, he is like me and has even more knowledge on a lot of things than I do. I'm just looking forward to this job being done so I can go back to telling Spencer how stupid he is. Just knowing a little bit about a lot of crap is very much the norm around here. I have a few scraps. I always keep scrap wire when I'm doing a job like this because a lot of times you have to do this. You have to cut a little runner rather than cut 3 inches off of something that I may use to run another circuit later. If you just keep a handful, not a lot of them, then you've always got stuff around to make those kind of runners. I gotta run to the basement real quick to grab a runner. But here you can see I kept this piece from some other random wiring job, although I've already pulled the ground wire out of this one at some point. Just strip, call it that much, of the insulation off of what was power wire. In theory, it'll work just the same as a ground wire. There we go. There. Now I've got a runner. All right. What I'm debating is, do I just wire nut basically an extension onto that short one? Let me think about it while I get my dog, who's barking at the neighbors, as he always does. Oof. Uno momento. See if I can get this light out of the shot and onto me. Stay light. Oh, come on.
Let's see. Okay.
Friday nights for us is movie and pizza night. It's the only day of the week that we really get to spend together as a family. We only have one light in the living room, which is a lamp. So we either have to eat in the dark or eat and try to watch TV with a glare on it. So this will be a big game changer and make this room a little more functional. I just have to replace a bunch of 70 and 80-year-old junk wiring. That's some of the knob and tube mixed with some, I would guess and say 50s or 60s wiring. But this is what I have to get changed and addressed so that I can get the new fan hung. And you can see what our house looks like, what a room looks like while I'm working in it. Turns into a total nightmare. So I gotta get this done so we can actually enjoy ourselves tonight. Let's see how long it takes me to undo all of this nonsense. Oh, maybe.
You need a washer?
I need a washer.
Where would I find what?
It's a square nut.
Yeah.
If I run it all the way to the head, it will act as a washer. That is provided I can find the other one I took off.
So the other one's not square. Is it gonna work?
In theory. Yeah, it's still bigger than the screw head, so. Started.
This is riveting.
I bet it's even more exciting to be doing it.
Jack, that is so loud. I mean, he's being a good boy.
So I am gonna have to make a jumper.
What's a jumper?
A small section of wire so that I can connect the ground up here to the rest of these grounds. I'll say it again. Lighting for good video and lighting for work are very different things.
Don't want no short man. Do you remember that song?
I didn't hear what she said.
Don't want no short man.
Maybe.
Might have still been in high school when that came out.
Oh, I didn't listen to music in high school, so.
Well, not new music, no. I don't know if you know this, but you're a bit of a music snob.
I like that nickname for you, Meat Snob.
It's Mrs. Meat Snob to you.
Michael Jackson was good.
How about the Beatles?
Trash.
That's some long letters. Long. Long. Kind of skinny.
Not a thing I think I've ever been called. Well, maybe when I was keto.
Your mom was very worried about you. And that time in Iraq.
Yeah, I got real skinny on my second tour.
I thought it was because you did CrossFit.
No, when I did CrossFit, I was jacked. Second tour was just depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Yeah.
Going to need you to climb up on here with me.
I'm busy. You want me to climb onto a table?
Yes, very carefully, because this table tips if you don't stand in the middle of it. Oof.
You've been falling a lot lately.
A lot.
You tripped like 4 times over the beam in the kitchen after warning me, I know you're gonna fall over this.
Playlist I made. Yeah. You're probably gonna have to set that on a tripod. I need you to hold it there. See, you're standing on the edge of the table that I just told you is...
It looks like an insect, but it's not, is it? It's like a old wire. I thought it was like a dead, dried up lizard.
No. Hope this old table I got from a demo job holds both of our body weights. The berry ones taste like Big League Chew. The purple Big League Chew.
Ugh.
What do you mean? Ugh.
Big League Chew is gross.
Everybody liked Big League Chew.
Nobody liked Big League Chew.
That's nonsense.
You guys chime in. Do you like Big League Chew or is it hot garbage?
Hold that right there, please. All right, I want to try something. Is that? That's not right. Hold on.
I got it.
Let go for a second. No.
So you do all this before you connect the wires?
Yeah, in theory, we'll be able to let go. Drop it like that, and I can hook the wires up, and then this thing pushes up and screws onto that bracket. I brought in the crescent wrench. Don't step on the edge. Where's my beer? All right, can I have that bracket?
Sure.
Get that out of my way. Come on. Should have thought about the fact that I'm tall enough to reach this thing and stop fighting it. There. Stupid thing. Okay.
Here goes the good stuff.
What'd you say about the good stuff?
I have to repeat everything I say.
What?
What?
Did it go?
Looks like it's on. I'm assuming you have the breaker off.
I have not hooked it up to a breaker yet.
Oh, okay. Jack! No!
Okay. Just remind me tomorrow when I'm down here, this last breaker.
I'm gonna label it.
Did you label the breaker yet?
No. All right, we're just gonna take the bottom one for now, because that's...
What is that, a ground?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't recording. So you got the ground.
And then it's neutral right now. And then all I got left is power. Okay. So what we're gonna do, take camera up. You're gonna stand at the switch. Bean is gonna stand at the light. I'm gonna flip the breaker. You're gonna flip the switch. See if it lights up and listen for any popping, crackling. I'm flipping the breaker on.
Well, there's lights! The dimmer is weird.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on there. We're not touching the dimmer, and it's flashing. Sweet!
So I'll get a regular
Whoa,
switch
that
for
just
it.
got brighter when you turn the fan on.
Yeah, that's weird.
Something's not right. Maybe it's that wonky breaker, you think?
I'll get a regular switch, and there's got to be like that wire that maybe it's not seated all the way because it connects the fan, the light. You just have to pull it, and in theory.
That's weird.
Oh well, we have functioning light. Mostly functioning light.
The project is not just the project. The project is making our house into a makeshift studio. Getting rid of this switch because we thought that's why the lights were strobing. But as it turns out, Brian did some reading and we had LED bulbs in there. And if LED bulbs are not dimmable, then they will strobe when you try to dim them. We took the bulbs that were in that fan out there and we put them in here in the kitchen. And then we took those cool Edison bulbs from in here And we put them in here. Good thinking there, honey bunny.
It was out of convenience to not have to run to the store. This is why I prefer to run power to the light instead of to the switch, because you're trying to tuck so much crap up into one
little receptacle. What you looking at?
I'm going to cut this off and just push it back in, because this is the one that isn't connected to anything. I have no idea where it went. So now I should just need my boards. But I still have to notch this one. Gonna be loud for a minute, kid. You didn't hear me, but you're gonna know soon. So in the off chance that some of this crap that's running here is tied together, I'm gonna cap them and electrical tape them. There we go.
Looks much better than a gaping hole.
Not that tight. It's one of those jobs that's finishing up very annoyingly.
Did it crack the plate?
Yes.
It just wanted to look like the rest of the wall. What's wrong?
It just felt weird.
Felt weird when you put your finger in the hole?
So this week we were finally able to get back into the living room and finishing up the light. All in all, it went pretty smoothly, which is a rare occasion around here. I was able to pull the wiring without having to crawl back in the mouse trap. The wiring went relatively smoothly. About the only real downside was we did split some of the old wood when I was pulling it down, and that creates more work for me because now I have to go back through and repaint it all. But all in all, I would say this is a major win. Next week, we're either going to continue the living room by fixing some cracks and painting, or continue wiring and just move into Bean's room. So you'll have to check back in with us next week to find out which one we pick. Till then, we're definitely making some progress.
Follow along with us every week, Sundays, noon Eastern time. Watch us through our successes and our failures and everything in between on YouTube, Rumble, and Patreon at Armstrong Acres Farm.
Where we will continue to make progress.
That's right.
Making progress.